Hey everybody, I'm Rick. That's Matt,
Matt.
and it's Wednesday night show. All right,
Oh, yeah.
so there's not a lot of stuff to talk about, but we do have some news today. So there's some big news for Hockey Canada. The Habs signed a player, and there's an interesting. They did a redraft of the 2019 entry draft, and pretty interesting that the Habs end up with three players that are assumed would have gone in the top 10, knowing how their careers so far have turned out. So that's pretty interesting. Uh, so anybody think about the trades for Newhook and for Doc, and they didn't like them. Well, you know they went pretty high in this draft, even in the redraft. And
Even Harvey Pinard too. Like I had said, I absolutely loved all the votes he got to have him at 25th overall in the redraft. I thought
except
that was awesome.
the truth is, Harvey Pinard should have gone in the 2017 redraft because he wasn't drafted for 2 years. He went undrafted. So I love it, and it's great because that's the year he got drafted. But really, when you think about it,
Right.
he should have gone in the 2017 redraft. But it's okay. I mean, it just means look at he was drafted 201st, I think, and they moved him up to 25. That's a hell of a shift. And yeah, so just to say that it was a good, anyways, I wanted to see what you guys out there think about it. So I'm still not used to where my camera is. So sorry about that, everybody. Let's see who's here. You want to bring the guys? Oh, wait, not yet. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. I wasn't expecting everybody. So just give me a second. I was just gonna say hi to everybody. Hey, Guru, how's it going? I don't know. Should
Guru.
you mind if I tell everybody, or do you want me to hold off? Lucas Miller. Hey, Lucas, how's it going? Good to see
What's
you.
going on, Phil?
Building a cat tree. I've done that. I did that last week, 2 weeks ago for my ex-wife. She bought one and I built it. Not hard, but it was a small one. Hey, Filibuster, how's it going, man? Rest easy, you've arrived. All right, so it looks like we're going to be a lot of people in here, so that's okay. I don't have a setup for four necessarily that I've made. So, okay, so just bring everybody in, and I'll adjust myself to where I want to be. And we're good. So welcome in, Cam and Alex.
How you doing tonight, Rick?
I wasn't expecting any, but I don't even know where I'm looking anymore. I swear, just muscle memory. I'm looking. The timer shifted a little bit, and yeah. So yeah, I was expecting to be alone, but we got a panel and not a lot to talk about. Although actually, there's some. I have a feeling there's going to be one subject that's going to give us a lot of conversation. So we're going to get to that in a minute. Phil asks, how's Boston? Well, Cam's from Boston too. Cam,
The three of us are.
Yeah, all of us are right by.
I live like 20 minutes outside of Boston.
Right, and Alex is from Philly but lives in Boston.
No, Alex is from Boston too.
I'm from Boston.
All three of us grew up in Boston.
Oh, I thought you were. So you're just a Philly fan?
Yeah, I'm all.
I didn't know that. I thought you were
the exception.
No, I thought you were from Philly. See, I didn't know. No, that's cool. So the three guys from Boston. So Boston's doing well, I'm sure. Well represented here. A little late, but well represented. An inside joke. Hey, Sean, how's it going? I hope it's a good show. Who are these your fourth liners, apparently? Lucas, I mean, that's what she said, eh? He says, mine is a big one. Got a lot of kitties. You get a lot of kitties with that big one there, eh? All right. I have a feeling I might be in a weird mood today.
I want to be center.
Phil says he visited Boston once. He went to Saty. What's that? S-A-T-Y? Does that mean anything? Nobody understands you.
I don't know what Saty.
You sure you were in Boston? All right, you love Boston. I've never been to Boston. I've been in the closest I got. I don't know what town. I got, like I went on a working trip on a truck as a helper. We went through New England and the New England states. We went through all those. Passed by Boston, but didn't get into Boston. So that's as close as I got. But I want to say this. People in in Massachusetts, some of the friendliest people I ever met. Like I did a few trips in the States like that on a truck. Massachusetts, probably the friendliest of all the, like, I ran into people. And the other surprise is second friendliest, south side of Chicago. Which you wouldn't think. And this was in the 80s.
Oh, well.
So you wouldn't. No, I guess it's worse now. I don't know if it was worse.
I've
then
never
or
been
now.
to Chicago, so I can't vouch.
It wasn't. It didn't have a good reputation in the 80s, believe me. But it was. People were really nice. Although, was it there we couldn't sleep? No, it was New York. We couldn't sleep in the truck overnight. We had to go to a big main street to sleep. It wasn't safe. The guy told us. I wouldn't sleep around here. Anyway, that's a sidetrack. Hey, Leon, they're not Habs fans. They don't have to be Habs fans. You don't have to be a Habs fan to be here. So,
I'm a Laps fan.
there you go.
I just enjoy paying for the organization I root for.
There you go. Hey, listen, we like the diversity. There's no problem with diversity. So now, listen, if you're here and you just want Habs fans on this show, it's not going to happen. It's not. I don't like that. I grew up mostly Habs fans for friends, but I had friends when I was young that liked other teams. I didn't make any fun of it, unless they were Leafs fans. Then I just felt pity for them.
We all laugh at the Leafs here. It doesn't matter who we root for.
I could never understand, growing up, why anybody would want to be a Leafs fan. Not so much Boston, but a Boston fan too. But I mean, Cam's a Boston fan, so it's understandable for that. But Leafs fan, I don't know how anybody could like them in any way.
Yeah, take it easy on me. We're suffering a major loss. So
I saw somebody with a ridiculous take on Twitter saying how Bergevin, he's nothing, he's overrated, and
was that Mark Madden?
Better, and that one's better. And
that was Mark Madden, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't
There's
think
a
that
guy who's a big Penguins fan named Mark Madden who does nothing but go on tirades about how everyone stinks but his team. He said, if Bergeron, this is one of the most ludicrous takes I ever saw. He said if Bergeron was a Penguin, he would have been their number 5 center.
Shit, that's like the Leafs fans saying Suzuki wouldn't be a fourth-line center in Toronto.
He had the gall to say Ron Francis is better than Patrice.
The 6-time Selke Trent, the 6-time Selke winner is going to be your number 5 center.
I almost puked in my mouth.
Yeah, I mean, but there's idiots. There's just idiots everywhere. I mean, there's haters.
Mark, I saw that. Like, dude, Mark Madden.
It's okay. You want to know what? You know what, Alex? Penguins fans are in denial. They think Sidney Crosby is going to play until he croaks on the ice, and they're still going to be Stanley Cup contenders.
They think Erik Karlsson's going to bring them back to relevance, and
that's where they
trade for him.
Funnier, they think Erik Karlsson is going to them. He's not.
They're $3 million over the cap.
Wow!
Like, please push your rebuild further. Yeah. Trade Jake Getzel there if you want. Make it even worse for you. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Pull a Detroit-style rebuild right now.
As Leon said, then players can't play forever. But when you have great players like that, you kind of feel like they will.
I don't know. Jaromir Jagr's playing for friggin' ever. That man's still going.
Jaromir Jagr is going to be playing at
okay.
117.
He's not playing at a high level.
No, he's not nearly playing at the level he was. But
I see.
How old is he now? 53.
He's got to be in his 50s. He's
over 53. Hold on.
Yeah, he's
right now
56. He could be 56 as high as that.
But no one's
he's only 51.
Oh,
yeah, but no one's gonna break Gordie Howe's record though. Like in terms of playing,
that's what I meant.
NHL level.
No, but that's what I meant. At a high level, right? He's not playing at a high level.
Gordie Howe played until
matchable records.
Yeah, Gordie Howe I think played until he was 52 at the
52.
NHL. Granted that was a long time ago, but
still,
no one's gonna do that.
It's still a feat because even then, when it was a little slower, or whatever, it's still at 52. You're keeping up with.
Yeah, it was far more physical back then.
Oh God,
yeah.
That's what makes it more impressive. Gordie Howe played at a good level up until like his late 40s, early, and
he played for the Whalers at 52.
Yeah, he also played with his 2 freaking sons. That should tell you something.
I don't know. I think he was 52 at a high level. And like he did okay. I mean, he didn't do Gordie Howe numbers, but for a 52-year-old, he did okay out there.
Getting a point at 52 is an accomplishment. Playing at the level Gordie Howe is
skating with those guys was an accomplishment.
I don't know. I think taking a hit at age 52 and not turning into dust instantaneously is a pretty solid thing in my book.
That's a good point. Someone just mentioned Chris Chelios played till 46. I didn't even think.
Oh yeah, but Chris Chelios, that was an overstayed welcome.
Yeah, but still, he played a while.
I guess a bit, but I mean, considering that the Habs let him go at what 28, thinking that he was pretty much done.
And
when the Habs traded him,
that was the biggest mistake.
Big mistake. When they traded him, one of the reasons was he had a nightlife. They didn't like his nightlife. That's one reason. But they also figured because of that nightlife, he was pretty much done, and they figured they'd move him. How many years did he go and play after that? Almost
18.
20.
Yeah, but Austin Matthews had a nightlife, and that got him $11 million. So I mean, hey, you never know.
Jeff Carter and Mike Richards had a nightlife here. We traded them and have been irrelevant since.
Yeah, but maybe I think Chelios was a little wild, a little too wild for Montreal. But
yeah, you guys missed it when LA got Jeff Carter. That was big.
Well, he got traded to Columbus originally, and then he got traded to LA like a little over halfway through the year. We actually dogged Columbus in that trade. We got their first round pick. We got Jake Voracek, and I feel like there was another piece. I'm not 100%. No, I think that was it. We got a first and Jake Voracek. And then we traded Mike Richards in a separate trade to LA. And we got Wayne Simmons, Braden Shen, and another pick, I believe, as well. So the Flyers actually did pretty good in those trades, but they never got back to the base that they were in like 2011. 2012 was the last real fun year. And outside the COVID year in 2020, it's been first round exit, miss playoffs, first round exit, miss playoffs. There was one exception. That was
I feel like 2010 was your only real chance out of all those years because you reverse swept the Bruins. You had a good team, and then you just got ousted.
That team just got hot. That Flyers team got into the playoffs in the final game of the year on a shootout against the Rangers. If they lost that shootout, they don't even make the playoffs.
That's what a Cinderella story is.
They were the definition of it. That 2010 Flyers team was the biggest
I don't remember them
I've ever seen.
I don't remember them being 2010. Wasn't that the year? First of all, that's the golden goal was 2010, wasn't it? The Olympics and Sidney Crosby.
Yes.
And wasn't it Boston and Vancouver for the?
No, that was 2011.
That was 2011 was Vancouver, Boston.
Okay. 2010 was Philly, Chicago. That was the year we got in on the final day of the year. Okay. The Flyers and Rangers were tied in points. And the final game of the year was coincidentally between the two teams, went all the way down to a shootout. Henrik Lundqvist versus Marty Brodeur. I mean, not Marty Brodeur. I'm sorry. Brian Boucher. Why am I saying Marty Brodeur? Versus Brian Boucher. And Boucher actually won the shootout for them. Flyers won the shootout 2-1.
But I don't watch, like, if the Habs don't make the playoffs, I don't, and it's rare that I watch. Only now with the channel now, so I do that. But before, I don't watch if the Habs aren't in the playoffs. So
2010 was also the year that Patrick Kane was the only one that noticed he scored a goal that I think that ended up being the game winner.
That was a cup winner.
Yeah.
I kind of remember that, but I don't like Patrick Kane, so
the moment
Alex is like this looking at his TV.
When I saw that, that's exactly what I was. I was just a blank stare looking at the TV. I'm like, wait.
I kind of remember that though. I didn't watch it, but I kind of remember that because that's something that even if you didn't watch, if you're a hockey fan, you hear about, right?
That goal took 5 minutes to process. It didn't really hit me like, oh God, we
got to get into a couple other things though. I'm not sure where I was. Hey Joe, hey Babe, how you doing, man?
Hey, bye.
Renegade Man, and okay. So listen, we got a couple of things. Let me get to what I got here. Just to announce that Jesse Alonen, the lone RFA for the Habs, they signed him to a really good deal. I don't know the cost though, but it's a 1-year contract. It's 2-way. So if he's not here,
it's
a minimum.
I believe it was under $1 million.
Yeah, I'm sure it's league minimum or 800,000, like that area, and then probably 250 or something in the minors. So that's something. That's the last of the RFAs, last player that they had to sign like that. So that's the news. Now, the other news is going to be big. And We're going to talk about this. I saw some of you guys talking on. I think it was Twitter. You guys were on Twitter. Cam, Alex, you were on Twitter talking. Yeah, Alex, about this story. So Hockey Canada, everybody knows the 2018 team. A lot of controversy. There was a rape incident. Probably a few other things that happened that I heard, but I don't know how much that is true. But
5 guys right now that are rumored.
The NHL is maybe ready to very soon announce 5 names. They're going to get suspended for maybe a year or more. I don't know if all 5 names are big names, but there's big names in the 5 names. This is something that I was hoping wouldn't happen, that it would be, the lesser players that were involved in this. But now we don't know the names, and they haven't been announced yet, so there's a lot of speculation about what it is. I don't know that I want to speculate on particular names, but
yeah, I don't want to do that either. I don't think it's fair right now because we just don't know.
Name anybody. We're minor and who's watching, but I don't know that it's fair to, how do you put? I guess it's all alleged. Any names that we might mention, it's only allegedly. We don't know anything.
Until this report comes out. It's all just speculation. It's
speculation on who it is.
We don't know nothing.
Even then, when the report comes out, it's not solidified. It's only presumed, and they're still only alleged to have taken action. So
they're not NHL.
You got to wait for the actual police report.
I'm going to say the NHL's not suspending star players because they don't know that they did it. That's all I'm going to. I could say that because I don't know of any. I'm not naming names, but. I don't care who it is. If it's Sidney Crosby, and he wasn't involved, but I'm using his name just to say a name. If it was Sidney Crosby, I want him suspended and I want him gone. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying. Whoever it is, it doesn't matter. So I don't want to name any of the kids and we know it wasn't Sidney Crosby because it couldn't have been. But just to say that that's how strongly I feel.
Yeah, no, I'm 100%. I'm in agreement. And I think not only obviously we'll see the suspensions, but. It wouldn't shock me if we even maybe see contract terminations come out of this.
Oh, I would think
you'd see lifetime bans is what's been discussed.
That's what it should be. That's what I say. That's what it should be. A lifetime ban. At the very least, definitely no international play ever representing this country. So, but there's some I don't know, like Phil was telling me there's some films, like some video of certain things, like there's stuff coming out. So
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of evidence, like and I know Cam kind of brought up, even though we will have names shortly when this report comes out. Yes, obviously, innocent until proven guilty, but there's mountains and mountains of evidence. This investigation's been going on for quite some time.
I think we're gonna get.
They wouldn't name these names unless they had clear and concise evidence that these were the guys involved.
Listen, they're suspending these guys. To what extent, I don't know how long, whatever, right? So they got to name names. So they got to be goddamn sure what they're doing. That's what I'm gonna say. That they're not just. They're going to be sure that these.
That's why it's taking this long too. They don't. Exactly. They want to make sure
when they name these guys, they're guilty.
Because they also on the flip side, right? If you mess this up, the NHL's wide open to get their asses sued off.
The lawsuits from the if you got it wrong, the lawsuit. That's why we can't say names because we could get sued doing that.
It's defamation. Yep.
You don't.
Well, no. For us, it's not defamation because we're not the ones doing it. So defamation of character would be if we're presuming and just kind of understanding. If we mentioned every name that was there, like here's the name of the list of people that were on the team, you're not defaming them. Right. You're bringing light to the situation. But if you're saying like here, if they're saying the 5 stars, and you said like, well, here's who is a star already. That's still not defamation.
If you go specific, yeah.
If you go specific and say like it's these 5 guys, then yes, that is defaming 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I'm not naming any names in there. I just I just hope it's I hope there's no Habs. Well, if it is, there is one Hab that might have been involved, but he's not here anymore, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's here now.
Oh no,
I was going to say, yeah, he's in Philly.
No, and it couldn't be him. He was not there. He was not there when this happened. I remember it now. So Victor Mete is not. He was not there when that happened.
Yeah, I don't think he was involved.
He wasn't there. He wasn't there. He was not in. I think it happened in Toronto. He was not there.
Mm-hmm. There was 3 players that they said who have been cleared already that they said were not there. I don't remember the 3. I think he is definitely
Victor Mete is one of them because he was. There was
not 2 there. More they said that were not there 100%.
That's right. So those guys are cleared, but anyways, it's a black eye for the game. It's a black eye for the NHL, for Team Canada.
Sports
maybe not so much.
I don't think it's much a black eye on the NHL because it didn't happen under their watch. It happened.
No, it didn't. But some of these guys are playing in the NHL.
I mean,
black eye of some sort for them.
I mean, yes, but it would be more of a black eye if they didn't do.
No, I get that. It's not like, but it's still a black eye for the NHL. Yeah. They're going to want to get this straightened out.
Yeah. I think it's going to be interesting with the bans and what Nordy was mentioning about contract terminations, because don't forget that there is a CBA, so in the NHL Players Association, so it might not just be that simple of terminating a contract,
right?
With that,
I'm not.
Oh, wait, there has to be a decency clause. They must have a clause where they have
clauses in there.
Yeah,
but they're probably written to be so specific and probably be like it needs to be proved without a reasonable doubt. Yeah. Like, so it'll probably have to go through court before. Like, that's the shitty thing. Like, you and I can just get fired for pissing in the wrong urinal.
Well, then if the NHL wants to clear it up, they'll make a special buyout.
These guys will not be instantly.
They'll let them buy them out, and it won't go against the cap.
Yeah, these guys will not have their contracts terminated instantly. It's just what's going to happen. Most likely, whoever it was is going to get the minimum of a year ban. Minimum. I think it should be lifetime, as we all just agreed upon.
But he's going to get booed everywhere he plays.
They're going to be put on the exemption list. They have something similar in the NFL where they get on this exemption list where they're just not part of the team's roster's cap. I think it's going to be similar to that. They're going to be put on an exemption list and not going to be qualified to play in the league. And it's going to go further and further into court until this will lead to potentially contract disputes until the court settles things and says, okay, this and this was pretty much violated. You can terminate said player's contract.
Yeah.
Or they make a special buyout where you can buy them out and it doesn't go against the cap for those players.
Yeah. I think
I would do that.
Yeah, I think a 1-year ban is not enough. I feel like they need to. You need to go through.
I agree.
Yeah, you need to go through a ban. You need to go through a program, and I think that will set the league straight. The only reason why I say that is because if we look at the NFL, and Rick, you may not be familiar with it, but there was a player named Deshaun Watson that had 24 alleged sexual assault allegations against him, all settled out of court, and he only got a 4-game suspension.
I heard of this.
I think it was wrong. Yeah. He ended up getting 11 games.
Yeah, I know. He got 12. He got 12.
Yeah. Well, and then he missed 12 weeks. He came back week 13. It's just they had a bye week, so he only officially missed 11 games.
But the league but the organization that owned him, because the league also said you are forfeiting your first year's value, they structured his contract such that he's only losing $1 million. So at least the NHL will never be as bad as the NFL with handling that poor situation, because that was the biggest load of bull I've ever seen.
Agreed. Oh, I agree with that 100%.
So Roadside Scarecrow, hey guys, or not guys. Hey buddy, it's been a while. He says, in my opinion, any player that did these actions 5 years ago deserve a lifetime ban from doing anything hockey related. I don't know if I go that far, but let him go to Europe, let him go to the KHL. But not representing the country, and I think a ban for life from the NHL.
Yeah,
I don't want to watch a guy like that play.
What about criminal charges? Like,
that'll be a separate issue.
They'll have to face that.
Charges.
No, they'll have to face.
The NHL can't control that. That's a completely separate issue.
It's a sexual crime.
I'm assuming that, like, if there's evidence, then they're going to be brought to court. So they might not even ever get to play hockey again because they might wind up in the clink.
It's a sexual crime. It doesn't run out. It's a sexual crime. There's no
statute of limitations.
That's the word, statute of limitations.
There is.
It depends. I guess state by
How
state,
long
right?
is it?
It depends state by state. There are
Yeah.
statute of limitations because
But
10
it
years?
happened in Ontario. Whoa.
Yep.
So it's Canadian law.
I think it's like 10 years if I remember reading correctly.
Anyways,
Yeah.
they're within
At
the
least
time
this
frame.
state.
But yeah, I think I don't want to see a guy. Look, I don't care what. I don't know who it is. I don't care what team. I don't want to see them on the ice against my team.
No.
No, I agree.
know?
Yeah, I mean, but the statute of limitations point that someone brought up is that was the same argument used in the Bill Cosby case when he got brought. They tried to bring up the statute of limitations.
Didn't
But
something change in that where they changed something and a whole bunch of new cases are allowed?
Yep.
Or he's allowed to be tried.
Yeah, they
for?
allowed the cases to be admissible due to the amount of witnesses present.
Yeah, and then there's more. Apparently, there's more now.
Yeah.
There's going to be another round. I heard. That's what I don't know
Yeah.
how true that. I heard that.
Yeah,
So.
if it's taken on a case by case basis, but let's just say it was just one individual with another individual, it can be constituted as hearsay, and that's where the statute of limitations can occur.
Yeah, apparently he's got a bunch more against him.
Yeah,
So
okay.
We'll see what happens.
I'll get my Bill Cosby sweater eventually.
No, don't wear it. I'm going to take you out. Listen, I used to love Bill Cosby.
This
I
is
used to
why
love
religion
Bill
is
Cosby.
right now.
Great comedian, great storyteller. But after what he did, and I don't want to even know from the guy. He's
Yeah.
persona non grata.
And now he's just roofing people.
No, but oh Jesus. Anyway, but no, I feel like even if they if they do want to take it to court, they'll settle out of court. The person will settle. I mean, the amount of money that person is willing. It's unfortunate because that's how much money they're willing to sell themselves for.
That's how the court of law
Wasn't
is
there a
nowadays.
payment? Wait a second.
Anyway, any of those cases, if you're rich, most of those always end with a settlement. Like look at Deshaun Watson. The guy like you just said, he had 22 sexual assault accusations, and they all got settled. Everyone's
got money.
That's how
Look
it
at
is.
Austin Matthews.
Watson did not sit out one.
Austin Matthews, anybody?
Watson was put on
No?
the commissioner's exemption list where he got
in
paid
Houston,
but couldn't play for a
Amazing
year.
how Austin Matthews skates on this issue all the time.
And then got another 11-game suspension on top of that. The 11 games he didn't get paid for, but the year
This
prior
guy
where he
doesn't
sat
ever
out,
forget.
he got paid through that entire thing.
So JFed, that's partly correct. Yeah, he did sit out, but he made his money.
That's how it's the way the court of law is now.
I wanted to say something and I forgot because Alex likes to talk, which is okay. But I forgot.
sorry.
I know, but I forgot because I'm old. That's really what it is. Maybe I'll remember in a minute.
Austin Matthews, guy's a butt face. He skates by it. Rich people get away with everything because they have money, and that allows them to touch my no square.
I just want to address something here. Sorry. Roadside. So, hey, Colin, welcome in. I just get screwed up. I thought it was somebody else. I'm trying to think of the name, and I can't. I'm sorry. But hey, awesome. And I see on YouTube every now and then because I'm subscribed and I get notified. So I see the stuff you guys put up. So, A1. What did I want to get? I wanted to say something. God damn it. I don't know. What else can we say on this without getting ourselves in any trouble?
They deserve what they get.
They do. I mean, that's
it.
What do you think we're going to find out? That's my question. You think it's by the end of the month?
Oh, well, the season's coming up. Listen, the season's coming up.
It's going to happen before the end of the season.
I don't think
before
they
the
want
beginning
them,
of the season.
They don't want them in preseason games. They don't want them on the ice.
I bet you anything that they're working right now around the legality of mentioning of how they can mention their names.
Because if they don't want them on the ice and they pull them, well, we're gonna fucking know, right? So they ought to have this solved.
Yeah, I mean, if when one of the insiders keeps out, so and so's not on the ice, and we can put two and two together and go, uh-oh,
yeah, but
that guy did something.
Yes, but you're doing that on your own. There's a different thing. Like it's like HIPAA, like the Health Insurance Privacy Policy Act. If I have a disability, you are not allowed to ask me what that disability is, but you can dance around it to kind of get an idea.
No, I get what you're saying. But I mean, it's going to still be quite obvious if so and so, like he says, big name, not in camp, not in training camp, no reason given.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And people can deduce that for themselves. And I think that is
Right.
the route that they might take.
Just go back, look at the roster for the 2018 Canadian team, and see if it matches up. Right? But you're right. If you deduce this for yourself, hang on, just to finish your thought, if you deduce this for yourself, then nobody's broken the law. So they don't name names, but just suspend them and they don't show up in camp. They didn't actually say anything, and you're trying to figure it out. It's still speculation.
Yeah.
Right. And it gives them a little extra time to get the legalities of it worked out.
Joe the Snoop had a question. Is the decision made by a group such as an integrity unit like in top Australian sports leagues, or is it done by something else? And I would imagine it's done by the NHL Players Safety Association.
But only because
it's got to be in conjunction between the league and the NHLPA.
Yeah. I think it's a combined.
No, wait, and more. Hockey Canada has to be involved.
Yeah.
There's more, but I'm sure there's a panel of. I mean, the question actually should be, Joe, do we trust the people that are going to make the decision? I think I
don't think we really have a choice, unfortunately.
We don't. But I mean, do we trust? We don't have a choice about what happens, but do we trust?
I don't think
to do the right thing.
I don't think the NHL has an option.
Yeah.
Because if Hockey Canada comes out with the news and you have it on the national brand, let's say, like, for the Canadian national pride or whatever you want to have it, and the NHL is like, okay, whatever. It's more of that is a huge issue that's going to rise with the NHL because now
they all have to be on the same page.
Yeah,
they have to all be on the same page because it's going to cause a problem.
I mean, I know I think lacrosse is considered the national sport of Canada.
No, hockey.
Well, no, I mean, I don't know. Try looking it up, but yeah, I don't know what the official one is, but hockey
should be hockey, but I think Cam's
right. The official national sport is lacrosse, but it really is hockey.
Just like the national sport of the United States is technically baseball when it's not.
Officially, lacrosse can kiss my ass, but
officially, F you that lacrosse is the national sport.
Yeah,
it's popular in spots, but I mean, it's not the national sport.
But if you're looking at something like that, especially in Canada, where some of the players may or may not be Canadian born, I know they are, right? Because it was on the
it's Team Canada. They're all Canadian kids.
Yeah, so. Yeah, I think the NHL would have their hands tied behind their back, and they're at the mercy of whatever the decision of Hockey Canada is, and the courts, and the case itself.
I gotta think you're right, and I gotta think even Canadian government, their sports, whoever's, I don't know what they call that now. Whoever heads up the sports for the government, they've got to be involved in this. Because it's Hockey Canada, but I know Hockey Canada is still independent, I think, of the government, but the government is going to want to be involved in this decision.
They got to make an example of these guys, because if they go to union on this at the end of the day and more comes out afterwards, that's going to be beyond a black mark.
The government's going to be involved regardless, because it will likely, if there's enough evidence, the person will likely pursue action in court.
Right.
And then they're just and because it was on a national, I think it was during a national event or something like that, the government, they were representing it. They were technically under government supervision at that point in time, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you might be right. Yeah.
So the government could even come down and say, we're going to fine them. They'll go to court. It'll be figured out at the federal level. And then you can go from there. Or whatever provincial level you guys have, I don't even know.
It'd be interesting to see how they handle it, how much is public, and unfortunately, it's gonna be interesting to see who the players are. So,
yeah, I'm not anticipating a lot much on the public level to be released. I feel like a lot of the sensitivity of the case, they're going to be very vague with what happened in the events, and then they're going to be probably as vague as they possibly can be with the people involved.
Yeah, but there are leaks that happen, and that can affect what they actually release. They might be forced to put stuff out there they didn't want to because it got leaked, and they've got to, So anyways, I just hope we get the truth, and I hope they handle it properly. But more importantly, I hope we get the truth. and I hope that the people that are handling it aren't a bunch of idiots, because this could be. And I just hope that they get good people in there doing this, because somebody got raped and it's a horrible thing, and people need to pay for that, for what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, start by paying me.
Yeah, no, she needs to be paid.
Well, her too.
Definitely. Yeah, only her. She's the only one that is a victim here. Okay, let's get into something different. I don't have. I guess I wasn't sure I was going to do this. Still, I was in a rush just before, and I was busy today, so I don't have the draft order for the 2019 draft to put up for all you people. So kind of screwed, but they did a redraft for it, and I have it. I don't think I loaded it, but I'm going to go do that now.
Is this from Jay Fresh's Twitter?
Yeah.
I thought
I got it from Matt. So
yeah, that was what he retweeted.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let me just go find it. If you give me a sec, because I didn't prepare properly. I should. I hear this, so no biggie.
Sorry, Rick. I'm gonna pop off. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, no worries.
Talk about it. So have a good one, guys. Great
All right.
show.
Have a good night. See you soon.
I'll be here another 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, no worries.
I'll be go to him, but
No
I'll
worries.
stay for this reveal.
All right. So so this is the redraft. It's kind of small, but you can see here, if you got good eyes, number 3, Cole Caulfield moves up to number 3. And if you did the redraft, he'd be a Chicago Blackhawk. Kirby Dach fell down from 3 to 8, where I thought that Caulfield was going to go. I thought Caulfield was going to go to the Oilers, but Dach is there, so that's at 8. And then Newhook moves up from 16 to 10 to the Canucks. So the point being, Montreal's got those 3 guys. So if from that draft, that's top 10 from that draft. And then if you look over second column in the middle, Raphael Harvey-Pinard at number 25. He was at 201 originally. That's a crazy, crazy jump. But when you think about it, though, it means we wouldn't have Caulfield, we wouldn't have Dach, and we wouldn't have Newhook.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be horrible.
You guys had ended up making some good trades in that.
That's some good trade. That's some good work by.
You got Dach from Chicago. Which trade was that where you acquired him?
We sent Romanov and one of our late. We had
Romanov and a draft pick. I don't know what draft pick it was.
So we had a late first round. We had a late
it
first
was
round
66, I think.
Yeah, it was
Romanov and the 66 pick to the Islanders
for 13th, and then 13th to Chicago for Dach.
And then the 13th pick to Chicago, for Dach. Did we add something to that 13th pick, or was it straight up?
It might have been 13th and another one of the late picks. I think that draft, so. I'm pretty sure we had, about 30 million picks. So we but
I think it was like a late draft pick as well with the 13. So for Dach, which I think was and look, even though they moved Dach down, he's still at 8, and we sent the 13th for him. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's still a good deal. It's really good work by Kent Hughes. And when you look at that, now he didn't get Caulfield, but he brought a Newhook. And Dach, and that's quite amazing.
I'm very curious to see how that Newhook trade works out for you, because he was having a hard time fitting in Colorado, but he's going to get a lot more time for top 6 minutes in Montreal. So I'm curious
but when you say hard time fitting in, I just think it's the situation and the players ahead of him. I don't think it's like that he couldn't fit into the team. There was no really good spot for him.
Yeah, that was more of my point. It was more
exactly, because he was playing, I think, third line minutes.
Yeah, he was playing
line, but we just wasn't getting ice.
But look he was playing with Logan O'Connor and he was
playing with weaker line mates. So that's why I'm saying I'm
mates.
Curious to see how he implements with a fresh start in Montreal, because they were raising him up to be the eventual 2C in Colorado, and it didn't work.
That's why they drafted him. 100%.
Yeah, so I'm very curious to see how he works out for you.
It's
guys,
just here.
He's got a high ceiling. I love Alex Newhook.
He has a very high ceiling.
I have a funny story about him. I actually used to work with Alex Newhook's uncle when I worked at a limousine company not too long.
Oh, cool.
Yep, small world moment. I never put 2 and 2 together. He was a chauffeur at the limo company. And he asked my boss had season tickets to the Bruins. And he asked me if he could specifically get tickets to the Colorado-Boston game. He goes, I want to watch my nephew. I'm like, your nephew, does he play for the Bruins? And no, he plays for Colorado. He's Alex Newhook. I'm like,
mind
oh
blown.
my God, that's your last name. How did I never put 2 and 2 together?
Wow.
But no.
A lot of new hooks, I'm sure, in the world.
I know, but like I never even thought of it like that.
Right.
Like,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But it
makes sense though, because Newhook is from he's from here.
Yeah. And
Alex
I guess he's a really humble kid too.
Oh no, Newhook's Newfoundland.
He's from Newfoundland.
Yeah, that's right. Well, but I know he played his college.
I know his uncle lives here because I used.
Yeah, it doesn't mean his uncle can't be in Boston or even lives from Boston, right? Because family and they move around. You don't know, but Newhook's from the Rock.
It's actually a lot. Well, it's funny too because a lot of I mean, even myself included, like a lot of Newfie blood in New England. You know, like that area.
Yeah.
My father's from
my dad's mother's side. They're all from Newfoundland. There's a lot of Newfoundland blood in New England.
Oh,
because when you're from Newfoundland, you want to get away from Newfoundland.
But like I said, my father's from New Brunswick. He moved down here.
You can't understand either of us when we talk.
About the same, but that's not true. You know what, though? There's some people from Newfoundland I've met. It's really hard to understand them. And then look, there's Jeremy Delaney, JD.
Yeah.
From Newfoundland. I couldn't tell if I didn't know that he was from Newfoundland. I wouldn't know from, like, I figure from the maritime area, but doesn't mean it's Newfoundland. So yeah. And Alex Newhook, listen to him talk. You couldn't tell.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it makes sense. You know what he said? He's going to Boston. He went to Boston College, didn't he?
Yeah, he played at Boston College.
Right. And he was saying he was going back to Boston. Like he's still hanging out or living in Boston area till he comes back here for the training camp. So like now I get why. Like I was wondering why. Maybe it's still the college, but he's got family there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. See, I didn't know that. But he's got family there. So there you go. Makes sense. It's a small world, right? Like you said, a small world thing. And it is. And when you think about it, it's like if you tell the story, like I know his uncle. Yeah, right, Alex. But like, why not? Right? Why not? People
it's a
have
small world
moment. They're all over the place. But that's a cool story.
Yeah,
the guy became cooler.
Alex Newhook's a very humble kid too. He's not one of those.
He is. He's a really good kid.
My only complaint. This is my only complaint because I know nothing about him, and this was the first time I saw him actually in an interview, so I don't know. But in the interview after he signed the contract, and I used some of the interview in one of my videos, right? So, but I find he was really either he's hyper, and he was just looking away a lot, and his concentration really wasn't there. So, like he was bored or he just rude. I
probably has ADHD.
Yeah, I couldn't.
It's literally ADHD.
No, that's me.
That's why I like
it. So, Alex, we got something in common because I got ADHD bad. So, yeah. No, it's exactly like that. I'm like that. If I'm not interested in what you're saying, I'm doing other things. And I can't help it. But I'm starting to recognize it in myself so I can stop doing it. But it's a bad habit of mine. Yeah, I'm horribly ADHD.
I can't hide when I'm uninterested in something. I try to be professional, but when someone tells me, I'm just like,
I can't. Me neither. So good. We got something in common there, Alex.
All right. Listen, guys, it was good talking to you. I got to take off. I promised the lady I'd watch a movie with her tonight. So
no. Listen, got to take care of the girlfriend, man.
Yeah, but good talking to you guys. I look forward to future episodes, and I can't wait till the season starts.
Yeah, well, we're getting close. So, yeah. All right. Have a good night. Care. Thanks for being here, Alex.
Bye.
See you, buddy.
Oh, look at put it perfectly. Okay, now what are we going to talk about? Anybody? Oh, let's get back. There's people out there. I'm sorry, people.
J-Fed, I think he will. I think having a fresh start, but just playing those top 6 minutes and playing under Coach St. Louis, I think you can pencil him in for more than 33 points. I can see it.
I am going with in my video. I went with 45-50. I seriously believe Alex Newhook's going to deliver you 20 to 25 goals, and then another 20, maybe a more because he's going to be on the wing, so maybe 20 assists, 25 assists. Like I think he's going to give you those kind of numbers.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's going to get better. It's not, but I mean, he's new, he's young, and he's just. But I think this is a year he's going to break out. He's going to be on a good line with good, solid players playing with him. And this is going to be a huge difference in his production, right? If he could put up 30 points with the guys he was playing with in Colorado, playing about 13 or so minutes a game, if he's on a second line wing here or center, but I think it's going to be the wing, playing with Doc, playing with guys that can get him the puck, that can, that can handle his passes, he's going to put up some points.
I think his speed suits our system better than where he was in Colorado. Like, because that line's going to be quick.
It's the return of the Roadrunner with Alex Newhook. That guy's got Roadrunner speed, like Van Cornway you have. He's got that. So yeah.
I mean, Caulfield too. I mean, both the left side of the top six is going to be crazy quick.
And don't leave Suzuki out. And I find people have a tendency to, because that was a knock on him when he first came into the league. But last season, he showed us a few times that he's got the wheels too. So this is a team.
I think it's starting to go along with Doc too. You know what I mean? It's not quite there, but it's coming.
Doc's got wheels. And he's got brute strength, and he can just mow through everybody. He literally can mow through guys without just knock them to the side like bowling pins. He did it a few times.
Coming through.
He did it a few times last year. I loved it. It was great. Just put up that, like the football players in the old days. Just put up the arm and go through.
But like that goal Suzuki scored, that absolute world beater when he did that one-handed goal. He took 2 or 3 strides and he was gone.
And there was a game where he had to catch up to somebody to get the puck away, and it took 2 or 3 strides, and he was about 15 feet away. So he's got wheels now. What did Kent Hughes say when he got here? If you remember in his first press conference, the team he wants going to be fast, going to be able to play with speed, and going to be skilled. And the players he's brought in, he's delivering.
Yeah. Speaking of that,
go ahead. What you got?
Oh, I thought I clicked it. This guy.
Oh, Hudson, because Joe's not a guy. I was wondering. Okay. Hudson. I've seen. Oh God! The last video I saw of him, he's in traffic behind the net, no room. He's 2 guys on him, and he's
he's like in a phone booth. He's like
boom, and gets to the front of the net and scores. I mean, this guy's got talent. I guess the feeling or the thought is, because of his size, does it translate to the NHL like the same way it does up until now? Right? I don't see how he's going to miss. I mean, if he's not
honestly, me neither.
Great, maybe even generational defenseman, and I'm not saying he is, but he has the potential to actually be that. And if he hits all that, I mean, and if he doesn't, he's still going to be a great player. Right?
Oh,
He's got the talent. He's still going to be a great player. Is he generational? Is he elite? We don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he is.
Oh, I mean, the potential's there. I mean, and I'm excited to go to go watch him at BU again this season, man. It's like, for lack of a better term, he's like a magician out there. Like the way he uses, the way he just uses movement. He uses head fakes, body fakes,
and stick handling.
Oh my God,
he's elusive.
His hands are crazy quick.
He's elusive with the puck and with his body. And so everybody worried that he's small, he's going to get creamed. No, he's too elusive to get creamed. He may get hit sometimes. I'm not saying he'll never get hit, but he's too elusive to get. I don't think he's going to get hurt that way. Like people are worried, like with Caulfield. When you're small and you play with big guys, you learn how not to get hit. That's the key. And that's, that's what they do. Here's about Hudson. I like this one. And you're a little behind. His thoughts on what Hudson's doing lately. Think he's a legitimate top 3
Should have been a finalist last year. Don't even get me started on that because I'll go.
Are you talking about for this coming season? Because he was he was like fourth, and he should have been third. At least the third guy that they put in there should not have gotten it. Should have been Hudson, and Hudson probably should have won that.
I was okay. I forget who. I think Fantilli won it.
Fantilli won, but the guy they put in there was Matthew Nees.
They put Nijin over Hudson. I was no, sorry, no.
Nijin was good, and I like what I saw. Like, he looked good in the playoffs for Toronto. Got to say that kid has potential, but I don't think I put him over Hudson.
I mean,
no
I don't know how you don't put. And I know this is like beating a dead horse, but I just can't overstate how insanely impressive and how like
what he did in college.
How much the record he broke means, and why I think he can reach some of that sky high potential. The fact he came in as a freshman defenseman and broke the Hockey East single season scoring record for a defenseman that had stood since 1987. And he wasn't a finalist for the Hobey Baker.
Brian Leach was the record.
He was the record holder from 1987. Lane Hudson beat it as a freshman.
Yeah, as a freshman.
That's
the key that I think people miss. Is that
I overstate it a lot.
Do you know how hard that is?
You don't see that.
You know how hard that is?
Yeah.
And an undersized kid coming into playing against men who are way bigger than him, and they're men now. And in his first year, he did that. That's crazy.
I don't know how he wasn't a finalist.
Because it
was so dumb.
It's because they're not biased for Toronto. No.
Well, no, it's not. In college hockey, it's Minnesota.
Yeah, but there was no Minnesota. Oh, because he played for Minnesota?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. That's what it is. It ends up being politics.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into that game. BU played Minnesota in the NCAA tournament because I almost broke a few things. I was so pissed off.
No, but I mean, it ends with the problem.
By far the worst officiating I've ever seen. Yeah. Horrible.
We could talk forever about officiating. Do you think that is ever going to get better, though? This is the thing now. Will it ever get better? Is this a thing that we got to get used to?
This was a college game. We're not even touching the NHL.
But the thing is, college level. But the thing is, it almost doesn't matter to sport either. Officials are bad everywhere. Why is that? Why is it like all at once, all the leagues, their refs or officials suck? What happened? Is there something? Is there like a conspiracy?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I do though, and it is a conspiracy, and I'm sure it's what has been the biggest influx in sports in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
gambling.
Yeah,
gambling is influencing.
Actually, there was just, speaking of that, a bunch of football players from Iowa and Iowa State just got hit with there was some undercover gambling sting at those two colleges, and a bunch of football players got caught.
I'm telling you, man, gambling and sports don't mix. Not like to be tied like that together. It's got to be illegal gambling, or it doesn't mix.
Mm-hmm.
It's too easy. It was bad enough that, like whoever's running all the gambling rings and stuff, they try to buy off the officials. That's bad enough, but now you got the league telling them. And tell me that's not true, that the league's not, like, they don't turn a blind eye to this bad officiating, and maybe even are at the source of the bad officiating. So, anyways, it'll come out one day. Who knows when?
Let's see here. This is because he's an offensive defenseman. Plain and simple. He's an offensive defenseman. Not bad in the defensive zone. I mean, he's not going to be, as defensively sound as, say, like a Reinbacher or a Gooley, Harris, those guys. But
that's why you pair him with Reinbacher.
Exactly. But he's good with his poke checks. His stick checking's really good. Obviously, the body, because of his size, he can't really play the body that well. But his hands are so quick. One of his best moves is he'll track back and he'll kind of cut off an angle and just quick little stick lift, and he turns and he's gone. And he'll start breakout going the other way.
You know something? I'm just hit by the thought that another reason why they drafted David Reinbacher, Lane Hudson. this is the perfect pairing partner for
Well,
Lane
I
Hudson.
get
Why?
that's got to. I mean, there's got to be
Right?
a reason the two of them were paired together in rookie camp.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, if you want to go, why did they grab Reinbacher? This is another reason why he's going to be the perfect pairing partner for Hudson,
Oh yeah,
because he can do everything that Hudson can't, and he stops plays from happening. So Hudson, and he can get Hudson that puck to get out. So imagine the breakout with these two guys, Reinbacher to Hudson out. Like, I can see this because
it could be
Reinbacher is
vice versa.
accessible for
Hudson
that.
can make a stick lift or a poke in the corner, fire it around the boards to Reinbacher. All Hudson has to do is turn,
and
take a
off.
step, and he's about 10 yards clear of whoever he was in the corner with. Hit Hudson, and then Hudson fires it up.
I can just see the amazing hockey that some of these kids are gonna provide for this team going forward. I just like, I don't know why people are, because I mean, you get a lot of negative, like, for me, for what we're doing here, right? You get a lot of negative comments about stuff, and I don't understand why people don't see that. Like, I don't know how hard that is to see about Reinbacher. I know most people in this chat do, because we've talked about it. So I'm not saying you guys are here, but
like I said, I mean, and obviously nothing is for certain until we see these guys play, but I mean, the way things are looking,
well, if there's two guys I'm going to say are going to hit,
there's a really good chance we're going to have the best defensive core in the league for about a decade.
Yeah.
I mean,
if there's two guys on this team on D that I'm sure that haven't hit here yet, that are going to hit and be good, it's Reinbacher and Hudson. I'm very confident in those two kids.
And then if your other pairs, Gooley and Mayu, it's like,
yep.
It's like pick your poison, because it's the same thing with Gooley and Mayu. I think
Gooley's here. We know he's going to be good. So
yeah, and I think again, Gooley will kind of make up for some of the defensive miscues from Mayu, but I think Mayu's all right. Mayu plays the body a lot more in the defensive zone. He's going to work on the passing, but again, it's the same type of thing where you're going to pair a very sound defenseman with a guy in Mayu who can fly, get up the ice.
Yeah.
Hell of a shot, get the offense going.
Right. You're pairing the no longer do you have that Edmondson stay at home, Ben Sherratt stay at home defenseman, right? Because you can't have that anymore in the NHL. You gotta be
no, they're more so they're two-way guys. Yeah.
Your stay-at-home guy has to now be a two-way defenseman. And you know what? In Caden Gooley and in David Reinbacher, Montreal has that to pair with their two future offensive defensemen in Mayu and Hudson. And that's the chess game that we talk about. That's it being played out.
And then your third pair is Arbor Jack Guy for security reasons.
Yeah. And then one of
Barron or Harris.
Barron or Harris.
Yeah, but I think it'd be between Barron or Harris.
Barron and Harris. I think it's, or it's Jack Guy, Barron, and Harris as your bottom two, flipping around depending on the game.
And that's fine.
That's how I see it kind of working out.
Yeah.
Will it work out? Maybe not 100% because things happen, but I think that's the basic plan for that. For the in 3 years, that's what it should look like, right?
Yeah.
And I think so. I just it's going to be an amazing.
No, and forward wise, I mean, essentially in the top six right now, you essentially have both wings or two wings and both centers essentially set in stone for the most part, right? With Caulfield Suzuki on line one, and new Hook Doc on line two. Now it's just a matter of, you want to hear when does Slav kind of start to break out a little bit? Where do you put him, and then who do you stick on the other line?
It surprises me though, because because I do this and I put these kind of things out, and then the responses by some people of the combinations, like some of them I didn't really think of, and they make sense. I'm not saying that they're not good ones, but it surprised me how many different combinations you could actually come up with the players here for that kind of center winger pairing. And it's crazy. There's so much talent, so much competition for all the spots. It's going to be a good team. Like the last time I saw this kind of competition for all the spots was back in the 70s.
Yeah, and I mean, look, and we haven't even talked about Joshua Why yet.
There's a bunch of players we
me,
haven't.
If he hits the way I think he can hit, he could end. Him and Slavkovsky could end up being the other two wings in the top 6 if they hit the way they're supposed to hit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 2-3 years down the road. I mean, I don't know, but there's so much. There's enough talented kids here for the top 6, right? That you don't know who it's going to end up being in 2-3 years. But man, there's such potential that you got. It doesn't matter if it's not Slavkovsky. There's other guys that could hit harder and be better. You know, there's that much competition here. I don't think it's going to be the case because I believe Slav's going to be a hell of a good player.
I think so, yeah.
I heard something that he put on 15 pounds.
It's a big dude.
Which makes him 250. And this was on Twitter. I read it and I didn't go further because I kind of scrolled through and then was thinking about after. Wait, wow! If that's true, man, he's gonna be you don't want to hit him. You don't want to be hit by him.
I mean, it's him. I know he's been working out a lot over in Europe. I mean, that's apparently muscle. I mean, you want to talk about skating through people.
Apparently, he's put on 15 pounds of muscle. Now that could be a rumor. That's not. I don't know, but we'll find out in camp when they do the weigh-ins.
The way he can move, it's like a friggin' freight train coming down the track.
It's going to be like a freight train. Okay, let's address. Hey, Guru, how's it going? Was in really bad reception. I saw the beginning of. Oh, I'm sorry. You'll have to watch it on replay, dude. That sucks. Oh, I can say whatever I like about what we go. Okay, so you heard that. Okay, I forgot that I had asked you that. All right, so I'm gonna just make a bit of an announcement. Then we're gonna talk about a video that I got coming up, which we've talked about before, but I want to go over that. So the announcement is: so if you're if you watch my live streams for the games, so I do the games every game. I usually have trouble getting the game, or I'm usually 5 minutes behind or whatever. Well, that's going to stop as of this season, or for this season anyway. From a gift from Habs Guru, I'm getting the what is it called? The NHL Center Ice? No, Center Ice is the is on TV or whatever, right?
Yeah.
The NHL Pass, the whatever the thing there. So I'm going to be getting all the Habs games, no problemo. I'll be on time. I'll be probably ahead of everybody, which would be great. And that's all courtesy of Habs Guru, who I can't thank enough for doing this. And he hopes that it'll just benefit everybody, and we'll get more people in, and we'll just have a ton of people and have a lot of fun, and the channel will grow. So it's a gift from Guru for the channel to grow, and it's like. I'm still speechless almost. You can hear me kind of babbling from the offer. So once again, thank you, Guru. Amazing guy. This guy is an amazing guy.
Seriously.
Enough about
Gurus are really awesome.
I hope one day we get to meet in person.
Really, awesome. Really grateful to have him in the Talking Habs family.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. But the problem is that he's on the other side of the country. I'm on one. That's the only problem. So we'll see if that could work out one day. All right. So yeah, so I wanted to say that. I'm gonna just get to this one. Do you guys think Jacob Fowler beats out Trey Augustine for the starting job at Boston College? Or do you think Boston College runs them as a tandem?
It'll be more of a tandem.
I think so too, because the stuff I've heard about Augustine, I'm not gonna knock him or anything, but he doesn't have the complete game either. So you got two guys that need to improve in different aspects. I think Fowler is right up there in that group with Augustine of the top goalies in the draft. So Habs got a good one. So yeah, I don't know more than Matt does. He'll know a little more, but I agree.
Yeah, I mean, typically what Boston College will do too in this type of situation, what they'll do is when the first few games, they'll probably run them as a tandem. And if one kind of shows more than the other, then you'll kind of start to see one get more of a load of the games. That's
all I do know.
Usually what happens.
I know this about Boston College. Good college for goalie development. If you're a goalie.
Yes.
They're good college for goalies. So he's at a good place. And when he's ready to come out, he should be ready. So we'll see how it goes, but he's got some work to do. All right, so I guess let me talk about what I mentioned the other day. I didn't get enough of your guys. Well, let me explain this better. Just give me a second here. So I'm doing this video. Here's the thumbnail. I can show it to you. So look for this. I don't know if it'll be out tomorrow, but it should be. And this is it. The all-time lineup. I mentioned it the other day when I got this. So this is, I don't know where this came from, but this is somebody's, I don't know if it's a magazine, if it's a website, or just, I don't know, somebody individual, but this is their top, their all-time Habs lineup. Line 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 pairings and 2 goalies. So I'm doing that. I've got my lineup. So this is not mine. So this is what it'll look like. No names in there. So I'm going with a scoring line, 1, 2, and 3. Fourth line's a checking line. So in other words, the fourth line might not have the top scorers because it's a checking line. But believe me, I don't think anyone's going to complain about who I got there. 3 pairings and a starter backup. And then probably should have put 1A and 1B because the 2 guys that are there are great goalies. So anyway, so look for that. Nice. I like the thumbnail. You guys like the thumbnail? I like the thumbnail. It took me an hour to do that thumbnail. That was like a long time for a thumbnail. All right. So what I'd like from you guys, if possible, if you haven't already, to send me your all-time Habs lineup. Hopefully following that, right? 3 scoring lines, a checking line, 3 pairs, and blah. The defensemen don't have to be left and right. I realize that you can't have them left defense and right defense because most of the Habs' great defensemen were left defense. So you'd leave out guys that shouldn't be left out. So don't worry about that for that. And send it to me, and I will put them in a video just for you guys. Like just talking Habs fans. I'm not doing this well. All-time lineups. So do that by sending me either an email at the address in the description below, a comment, not in the chat here, but in the video itself, or a comment on any other video that you see. I'll see it. And yeah, so if you want to do that, I'm gathering them up, and I'm going to try to get as many as I can into a video, and but my video will be just on my stuff, and that'll be hopefully tomorrow. I've got it mostly done. So you might, and there's some surprises. Like if you look at this one, I don't have the same lineup. I've got some guys that are the same, obviously, but I mean, I've got some guys.
I want to know why the Rocket's not on line 1.
I don't have the Rocket.
Maybe because he's playing with his brother, but
I don't have the Rocket on line 1. I got Guy Lafleur there. Do you know that? I'm going to say this, and this might be controversial. Do you know that of the 2 Richard brothers, the Rocket and the Pocket Rocket, I think the Pocket Rocket was the better all-around player, and the Rocket was. I
wouldn't disagree with that. I would
better all-around player,
and that's no disrespect, but I don't disagree with it either.
He was the better all-around player, and the Rocket was the better goal scorer. I mean, that's
for sure.
But I have Guy Lafleur in the first line, and I'm not. I gave away a little bit. I didn't give it away as it was a final decision, but I said the second line I would put something. Anyway, I would put that whole line. That they've got part of the punch line. They left out Elmer Locke. Elmer Locke shouldn't have been left out of that. I also am going to have honorable.
I didn't see Patrick Waugh on there either.
Yeah, that guy has Carey Price. I'm not going to say whether I do or don't, but I don't. And but I bet
I could tell you who your goalies are. I bet you that.
But I've done this before with the goalies, so for me to have a different combo is stupid because either I believe that or I don't.
Well, there's really only to me anyway. There's 4 goalies really you could choose 2 from. I think you and I probably have the same too.
Yeah, we've talked about it. No, there's really only 3 choices. There really is only 3 choices, in my opinion, and it's Roy, Dryden, or Price. You could put them in any order you want, and I don't.
Yeah, I include Jacques Plante in there too.
Who?
Jacques Plante.
Yeah, to me he's number 4, But I mean, if you want to say Jacques Plante as one of the two, I'm not going to laugh at you and
But
say,
yeah,
"Oh, you're crazy."
But you're right though. I feel like you have to pick.
I think so.
No, I definitely I agree.
But if you
yeah,
put
like
Carey Price ahead of one of the other two, I wouldn't say that's wrong. If you feel that way, I don't think he's that far behind those guys. Even though I don't have
to me, of those three guys though, again, this is just me, but I think Ken Dryden has to be there. To me,
because if you look at his stats, he has to.
He has
you
to.
Look at his numbers, his one loss, his 6 cups in 8 years. I mean,
winning all the awards, when he was a rookie, I think Dryden has to be there.
And people will say, well, look at the team in front of him. And you know what? There was a year, 74, I think, he took a year off. Well, this team that was good before he took the year off, it was good after he came back, was not good when he took the year off.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a lot to do with their success.
Oh, yeah.
So Ken Dryden, anybody thinking about Ken Dryden, the team, that's not true. But for me, I saw both of them a lot. And Patrick Waugh, for me, Patrick Waugh, for me, is you can put him in a game that you have to win, and this is going to be the best goalie that you could have. So for me, he wins on that.
Yeah, see, and probably because I'm younger, but for me, it's, I could go Waugh or Price for that reason alone. You know what I mean? Just because I'm growing up like prime Carey Price.
I wouldn't.
If you had a game that you had to win,
yeah,
prime Carey Price isn't losing you that game.
No, listen, and that's why I said I wouldn't say to somebody, "No, you're wrong."
Yeah,
because you're not. If that's who you feel, well, he deserves to be there too. Like it's a 1, 2, 3, 1A, 1B, 1C kind of. I just think Carey Price is 1C for a couple of reasons. But I mean, he's the most athletic, acrobatic goalie I ever saw. Carey Price, crazy acrobatic goalie. Like I saw this kid make some saves. Like he freaked me out. So he's definitely in that conversation. And they're a tier above all the other goalies. And the Habs have had some great goalies in their years. So anyway, but I give honorable mentions for every position in this video. So hopefully you guys will check it out. I didn't give away too much. And that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. So now we'll go back to you guys. And I'm going to hit the comments pretty hard. So leave me a comment, ask me a question. If I missed it earlier, just retype it. And we'll start from Joe up there. They should become the HR department. Block and pass on the issue. Talk to someone else. I don't know what we're talking about there. I would love to see the future of defense lineup in action. Give it 2-3 years. Give it 2-3 seasons, and that's going to be your lineup. Unless one of those guys has a major injury. I don't think any of these kids that we have here on defense are going to miss. The ones that, we ask about, what about Norlinder? Those are the guys that missed. I don't think Harris, Barron, Gooley, like these guys didn't miss. They're here. They proved that they can play here. And, I think that's my answer. I'm babbling here. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Well, I know what I'm talking about. Let us not forget that we need 5 lines. Injuries still exist. Not for the all-time. It's 4 lines. No team carries 5 lines. You want 2 centers capable of playing on each forward line. Yeah, but they're kind of going for that. So, and I don't see how my lineup that I gave, that's what I have. I've got Monahan and Suzuki line 1, Doc and Newhook line 2. Those are 2 centers on each line. So there. Sorry. Adam Engstrom, also a dark horse. I don't know a lot about Adam Engstrom, but I think you're right. Everything I hear about him is don't underestimate Adam Engstrom. But I don't know enough to really talk about him. But I did say it once before in a video. He's a legitimate dark horse on defense. The thing is, it's starting to be a really stacked defense. So I don't know how much and how far he gets in there, but he may surprise. And then, like, if he does, but he still can't crack it, but there's a good trade piece, So, or extremely good depth. So, yeah, but Adam Engstrom, definitely keep your eye open for that guy. Hey, Chicago Steve, how's it going, man? He's got Raw, Price, Dryden, and Plant. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't say you're wrong. I have it. I switch Dryden and Price for me, and that's how I have it. But if they were great goalies, all of them. So Joe says definitely have Dryden as first goalie, and you're definitely not wrong. I think a lot of really, really knowledgeable people in the industry would say you're right, and they have them.
I mean, like we agreed. I think Dryden has to be number one. Like I did,
No, I don't have him as number one. I have him as number two, but again, I say 1A and 1B.
Yeah,
is really how it probably should be.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's just me, and that's just my opinion. So, is my opinion the only right one? Of course not. It's not.
No,
they were so good.
And like you said, between those 3-4 goalies, there really isn't a bad answer.
No, they were so good that you can't really, and even me saying Plant might not be in that top tier. He might be too. I didn't see him though. That's the thing. So I can't say from personal experience about Jacques Plant.
Right.
So that's, so I'm at 4, but
yeah. I mean, like I said, like that's like with me between Price and Watt. Like I watched all of Carey Price's career. I didn't see any of Watt. I wasn't alive. So, like for me, that's why Price gets a little bit of an edge.
And that's and you're not wrong because he's a great goalie. So
he's the best goalie I've ever seen play the game.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's why I say those. If you pick any of those three, you can't. No one should say, "Well, that's crazy." No, it's not crazy.
No,
it's not. As Steven says, also, if it's based on legend, any of these 4 goalies win with the team Dryden had. No, as I just said, 1974, when Dryden left for a year to go to school and study law, and we had Bunny LaRocque, and he was our main goalie. I'm trying to think of who his backup was. We didn't do that great. So goalie was really important as far as winning. And it was basically the same team, right? And then Dryden came back, and then they 75, 76, I think they got to the playoffs and did okay. And then 76, 77, well, we all know what happened then. But in this year he left, team wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait for hockey. Your baseball team sucks. Who's your baseball team? The Cubbies? A play on human resources, HR Hudson Reinbacher. There you go. They take care of they take care of the human. They're the resource that takes care of the humans. Have signed their last RFA. I mentioned it earlier. Well, he has the amount. I said somewhere around 7. Well, league minimum. I think that's just over, or that's league minimum now. 775 if he's here, and 200 in Laval. I was close. You're a New York Yankee fan. Yeah, that's a team I never liked. So there's that. Although I didn't really care because Expos fan, National League, so didn't really care. But back in the day when it was the Dodgers and the Yankees in the World Series a couple of years in a row, I think I'm trying to remember the year, in the mid 70s, I was rooting for the Dodgers. But I think that's because my dad didn't like the Yankees. So of course I didn't like the Yankees. But over the years, I never liked the Yankees in general. Although if you're a Yankees fan and you haven't seen this, there's a really good show. I think it's on Prime, a documentary on Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. It was really good. I did never like Reggie Jackson back in the day. Never liked that guy, but I really enjoyed that documentary. You should check it out if you can. Toronto Blue Jay fan. See, I'm just because that's Canadian. I'm never going to be a Toronto Blue Jay fan because that has the word Toronto in their title. I'm never going to be a fan. Patrick Roy never liked to lose. Well, no. And listen, no goalie likes to lose. No player likes to lose. But he hated it. He hated losing. Roy became good in Granby because his defense in Granby sucked. He got peppered 60 shots a game every game. But Patrick Roy, kind of, even in Granby, if I'm correct, was the third string goalie and got a break in a game. Something happened to the goalie, and he had to come in, and he was good. And like you say, got peppered and stopped the puck. And that's the only reason, like, he got his break there and then got the call up. But Patrick Roy was not even thought of to be who he was. But he got the chance, and he grabbed it and held on.
Mm.
You're bored? No. But enjoy the summer. Oh, it's winter over there. You enjoy the winter. You got to have an in-between season, too. You were at the Dave Winfield Seagull game. I remember that. That's like the oh God, what's that pitcher? He was a pitcher here when he threw the ball he demolished a bird. Didn't Winfield do something similar?
I don't know.
You spoke to Reggie Jackson before his last game. Wow, was in Chicago. Awesome. There you go. So go check out that documentary. You'll like it. Patrick Roy was picked 54th overall in the third round. Yeah, but back in the day when I don't think the draft was as big as and thought of in the same way as it is today. But yeah, I mean, but I read the story about I think from him about how he got kind of discovered. I'm not saying they didn't draft him and they didn't know who he was, but he was, I believe in Granby, he was a third string goalie. He got a break there and he took advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
And in Granby, that would have been before he got drafted. So that's the reason he got drafted. He's got that break and then started playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joe, you got that preseason game up there. Yeah, and it's coming soon. It's not that far away. Preseason starts, I think preseason training camps start on like the 16th or 17th or 15th. I know that the rookie camp starts on the 11th of September, so it's not that far away. A month and 10 days is not that much. Is that what happened? First, Shazlan's got the info. The first goalie in Granby, his girlfriend was giving birth, so he wasn't there. Second goalie got injured, and Patrick got his chance. And yeah, when he got his chance, he didn't look back. And it was from that, and he played really well. And then I guess the Habs noticed and drafted him. So I'm not saying that the Habs, but it was before that to get the draft to be drafted. He got a break to start playing. Which, when you think about it, it's kind of weird. Like, how did they not know in Granby that the kid had talent? How did they not know this?
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at? Oh, well, we'll take off in a few minutes. We're getting near the end of the show. I keep thinking of the Bugs Bunny thing. What's that song that they do? We're the boys of the chorus. We hope you like the show. We know you're rooting for us, but now it's time to go. Look at me singing like I'm a singer now. Just because I got videos out where I sing horribly. Winfield was tossing the ball back and forth, chasing seagulls off the AstroTurf. Nailed the bird and killed it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Police came in and got involved for animal cruelty. Yeah, I remember that. Who's the pitcher that I'm thinking of? The ex-Hab pitcher Randy Johnson. Throwing a pitch and just destroyed a seagull. Like that bird never knew what the hell hit him, and he was in pieces all over the place. Kind of gross, but I didn't see that live because I wouldn't have been watching. I think he was pitching for the Mariners. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I saw the video of it many times. All right, any oddities anybody wants to talk about in our last 5 minutes? Pierre Creamer was Roy's coach in Granby. He became Montreal AHL team coach He asked staff to get Roy and Richer. Oh yeah, that's why we got Stéphane Richer. Yeah, Richer was a thought in my. I don't know what wing. What wing did Richer play? Anyways, as a winger, but I have other guys ahead. I think my surprises for this video tomorrow might be a lot in some of the honorable mentions. I think Newhook has a lot to prove, and I hope Slav will improve his game. Yeah, well, I think Slav will definitely. Newhook knows he's got a lot to prove. I think he's up for the task, and I also think he is skilled and talented enough to prove it as well. He's got a game that really suits Montreal. He's going to fit in well here. Hang on. So I think Newhook, I mean, it's a really good fit. He's a guy that's got talent. And the kind of talent Montreal that Montreal is building around, or what's not the word I want to, is designing the team as, right? He fits in that. So I think on the second line with Doc, with better line mates, I mean, we're going to see some really good play and some good numbers from Newhook. And then look back and go, wow, for $2.9 million, that's what they signed him for? Oh, they only gave up 2 draft picks to get him? That's what's going to happen once he starts playing here. Not the other way around like it's been so far. How, Joe, compared to like a guy hitting a baseball, how fast does the ball come off of the cricket bat when they hit? Like, I've seen games like for movies or TVs, but I don't know if that's true, And how fast do they throw that ball?
They throw it pretty quick.
Yeah, I've never watched.
They get a running start, and then it's like a full wind up.
Yeah, that I know.
Player it.
But I've never watched a cricket game, so I don't know.
But and I think it comes off the bat. Well, it depends. If it's a full swing, it flies.
It must be like hitting it with a baseball bat.
Because I've seen like
what kind of a ball is it though?
When they hit a 6, which is when you hit it's just like a home run. And I mean that thing, you hear the crack of the bat, and that ball's gone. I mean, long gone. Like,
what kind of a ball do they use?
It's called a kookaburra. It's
like a
very hard. I think it's rubber. I'm not sure though.
So it's rubber. It's a very, very hard rubber ball.
I think it's. I could be wrong.
Anyways, Joe,
I might be wrong. I don't think it's fully rubber, but yeah, they call it a kookaburra.
Kookaburra, kookaburra, kookaburra. Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree. That's a song we used to sing in like kindergarten. I don't know why. Why do I remember that? Don't know. 50 odd years later. That makes it sound like I was in kindergarten, like at 10 years old. I wasn't. I promise you. Renegade Man, that's a pretty good estimate. 2-3 years. I figured, if they keep it like kind of speeding it up with good trades like Newhook, and if, say, Reinbacher actually makes the team this year at camp, speeds it up. If Hudson gets here by the end of the year and starts getting experience, we might make the playoffs. Hell, we might if they're not injured all year. I mean, it's not out of the question that they could make a surprise run at the playoffs. Hey, Stan the man, how you doing, man? We're getting ready to sort of to take off, but heavy ball covered in leather, and she says it's quite quick. Now, Joe is Australian. I think that's an understated. So when she says quite quick, it probably comes off the bat effing quick.
Yeah, it does.
Right? Hey, Renegade Man, you too, buddy. Cricket bats are made from willow. That kind of sounds oh, it's made of willow. Don't hit it too hard. I don't know why I did that. I didn't mean anything by that. Who is better between number 59, Norlinder, and 36, Fairbrother? Well, I mean, probably Norlander. I think Fairbrother was kind of a throw-in, like with the 2 picks to get Newhook. Like they're not losing anything by trading Fairbrother from here. He wasn't gonna make the team. He wasn't gonna be part of the future. I kind of think it's the same for Norlander. So, but I think Norlander's probably the more talented defenseman. That's my guess. But I don't know 100%. All right. Anybody got anything else to toss in? Because otherwise, we are out of here. All right. Look for my video tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be out some point tomorrow. This here video is going to be the all-time lineup. That's it. Cough your way through the end. So please, if you have a lineup that you want to come up with and you want it to get into a video, send that lineup to me, and I'm going to gather them up, and I'm going to make a video with your lineups. And so please do that. At this time, we're going to say goodbye. Here's a thank you to everybody that, well, not everybody, but some of the people that have been around a long time, members and all that there. So thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you.
On behalf
Thank you guys very much.
I was going to say on behalf of Matt, on behalf of Alex and Cam as well. Yeah, thanks everybody for being here. Till next time, I'll be back on Saturday for Saturday Hockey Talk, so no worries there. Till next time, stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all, and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. And I will see you soon. Ciao, everybody.
Have a good night, guys.
Keep your sticks on the ice.